Hello, I'm Dr. Emily Hart, and what I'm about to share with you today is something that's completely revolutionizing how we think about aging, energy, and vitality. I'm a board-certified physician with 2 decades of experience in age management medicine and functional health, and I've discovered a simple morning habit that's so powerful, so transformative, that when I present the results to other doctors, they literally don't believe me at first. This one habit, which takes less than 10 minutes each morning, can make you feel decades younger by addressing the root cause of why we feel old, tired, and worn down in the first place. Before I reveal what this morning habit is, I need you to understand something that will change how you think about aging forever. Most people believe that feeling exhausted, having no energy, struggling with brain fog, losing muscle, gaining fat, and experiencing declining performance are just inevitable parts of getting older. But here's the truth that the medical establishment doesn't want you to know. These symptoms aren't caused by aging itself. They're caused by something called cellular senescence and mitochondrial dysfunction, and these processes can be dramatically reversed with the right intervention. Let me tell you about Daniel. Daniel was 59 years old when he came to my office, and he looked and felt like he was 75. He could barely get through a workday without needing a nap. He had no energy to do the things he loved. His mental clarity was gone. He felt foggy and slow. He'd gained 35 pounds despite eating carefully. His strength had declined so much that tasks he used to do easily now exhausted him. And his mood was dark. He felt depressed and hopeless about his future. He told me, Dr. Hart, I feel like my life is over. I'm just waiting to get older and sicker until I die. Daniel had been to multiple doctors who ran standard blood tests and told him everything was normal for his age. They offered him antidepressants, sleeping pills, and told him to accept that this is what getting older feels like. But I knew there was something else going on. When I ran specialized tests measuring cellular function and metabolic markers that most doctors never check, I found that Daniel's cells were essentially suffocating. His mitochondria, which are the energy powerhouses in every cell of your body, were barely functioning. His cells were producing less than 40% of the energy they should be producing, and this energy deficiency was causing every single symptom he was experiencing. I put Daniel on a specific morning protocol that I'm about to share with you, just one simple 10-minute habit every single morning. Within 1 week, Daniel called me and said, Dr. Hart, I don't know what's happening, but I feel different. I have more energy than I've had in years. By week 3, his brain fog had completely cleared. By week 6, he'd lost 12 pounds without changing his diet. By 3 months, Daniel had lost 28 pounds, gained visible muscle definition, and his energy levels were higher than they'd been in his 30s. He looked 15 years younger, and he felt 30 years younger. So what is this morning habit that creates such dramatic transformations? It's a specific breathing technique combined with cold exposure that dramatically increases oxygen delivery to your cells and triggers a cascade of rejuvenating effects throughout your entire body. Now I know what you're thinking. Breathing and cold showers sound too simple to create real change. But let me explain the science behind why this combination is so incredibly powerful that it literally reverses cellular aging. Here's what happens in your body as you age. Your mitochondria, which are the tiny structures inside your cells that produce energy, become less efficient over time. They produce less ATP, which is the energy currency your cells need to function. When your cells don't have enough energy, everything suffers. Your brain can't think clearly. Your muscles can't work efficiently. Your organs can't function optimally. Your immune system weakens. Your hormones decline. You feel tired, weak, foggy, and old. But here's the remarkable discovery. You can dramatically increase mitochondrial function through a specific type of breathing called respiratory training combined with cold thermogenesis. When you perform this breathing technique, you're flooding your body with oxygen and creating specific physiological changes that force your mitochondria to become more efficient. You're essentially exercising your cellular energy systems, making them stronger and more capable. The breathing technique works like this. You take 30 deep breaths, fully inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth, slightly deeper than normal, but not forced. After the 30th breath, you exhale completely and hold your breath for as long as comfortable. This creates a temporary state of controlled hypoxia, which means reduced oxygen. When you finally breathe in again, the rush of oxygen into your system triggers a massive increase in mitochondrial activity. Your cells essentially wake up and start producing energy more efficiently. You repeat this cycle 3 to 4 times, which takes about 7 minutes. This breathing pattern does something remarkable. It increases oxygen delivery to tissues by up to 40%. It alkalizes your blood pH, which reduces inflammation. It activates the sympathetic nervous system, which releases adrenaline and triggers cellular rejuvenation pathways. And it massively increases ATP production in your mitochondria. But here's where it gets even more powerful. Immediately after this breathing protocol, you expose your body to cold water for 2 to 3 minutes. This can be a cold shower, an ice bath, or even just washing your face and body with very cold water. The cold exposure triggers something called hormesis, which is a beneficial stress response that makes your body stronger and more resilient. When you expose yourself to cold after the breathing, several incredible things happen. First, your brown adipose tissue, which is metabolically active fat that burns calories to produce heat, becomes activated. This brown fat activation increases your metabolic rate by up to 300% for several hours after the cold exposure. Second, cold triggers the release of norepinephrine, which is a hormone that improves mood, focus, and energy while also reducing inflammation throughout your body. Third, cold exposure dramatically increases the number and efficiency of your mitochondria through a process called mitochondrial biogenesis. Studies have shown that regular cold exposure can increase mitochondrial density in cells by up to 40% within just a few weeks. This means you literally have more energy-producing structures in your cells, which translates directly to more energy, better mental function, improved physical performance, and a stronger, younger-feeling body. Let me share another patient story. Margaret was 62 years old, and she came to me feeling completely defeated. She told me she felt like she was 80 years old. She could barely walk upstairs without getting winded. Her energy was non-existent by early afternoon. She'd gained 40 pounds that wouldn't budge no matter what she tried. Her mental sharpness was gone, and she felt like she was losing herself. Margaret had essentially given up on feeling good again. I taught Margaret the exact breathing and cold exposure protocol I'm describing. She was skeptical and thought it sounded too simple and even a bit crazy, but she was desperate enough to try anything. Margaret started doing the protocol every single morning without fail. Within 5 days, she called me crying. "Dr. Hart," she said, "I woke up this morning and realized I hadn't felt this good in over 15 years. I have energy. I feel clear. I feel alive again." 3 months later, Margaret had lost 32 pounds. She'd started hiking again, something she loved but hadn't been able to do in years. Her friends and family kept asking her what she was doing because she looked so much younger and more vibrant. Margaret told me that this simple morning habit had given her life back and made her feel like the woman she was in her 30s. Now let me explain exactly how to do this protocol, because the specifics matter. First thing in the morning, ideally before eating, find a comfortable place to sit or lie down. Set a timer for 7 minutes. Begin the breathing cycles. Inhale deeply through your nose, filling your lungs completely. Exhale through your mouth, releasing all the air. Do this 30 times in a row, breathing slightly deeper and faster than normal, but not hyperventilating. After the 30th breath, exhale completely and hold your breath. Hold it for as long as you comfortably can. Don't force it to the point of discomfort, but do challenge yourself slightly. Most people can hold for 1 to 2 minutes after practice. When you need to breathe, inhale fully and hold that full breath for 15 seconds. This completes 1 round. Repeat this entire cycle 3 more times for a total of 4 rounds. This takes about 7 minutes. After completing the 4 rounds, immediately get into a cold shower. Start with lukewarm water and gradually make it as cold as possible. Focus on getting your torso and chest under the cold water. Breathe calmly and deeply. Don't gasp or panic. Stay under the cold water for 2 to 3 minutes. After the cold exposure, dry off and notice how you feel. Most people report feeling incredibly energized, alert, and alive. Your mood will be elevated. Your mind will be clear. You'll feel capable and strong. This is the feeling of your cells producing optimal energy and your body functioning the way it's supposed to function. Let me tell you about Richard. Richard was 68 and had been dealing with chronic fatigue syndrome for over a decade. He'd been to dozens of doctors, tried countless treatments, and nothing helped. He spent most days on the couch because he simply didn't have the energy to do anything. When I explained the breathing and cold exposure protocol, Richard thought I was crazy. He said, "Dr. Hart, I can barely get off the couch. How am I supposed to do breathing exercises and take cold showers?" But Richard was also desperate, so he agreed to try. The first morning was hard. He could barely complete 2 rounds of breathing, and the cold shower was torture. But he stuck with it. By day 3, something shifted. He completed all 4 breathing rounds and managed 2 minutes of cold exposure. By day 7, Richard woke up and realized he felt better than he had in years. By week 4, his energy had increased so dramatically that he started going for walks. By 3 months, Richard was hiking, gardening, and living an active life he thought was gone forever. Here's what's happening at a cellular level when you do this protocol consistently. The breathing increases oxygen delivery and forces your mitochondria to work more efficiently. The cold exposure triggers mitochondrial biogenesis, meaning your cells actually create more energy-producing structures. Together, these create a synergistic effect where your cellular energy production increases dramatically. When your cells have abundant energy, everything works better. Your brain has the energy it needs for clarity, focus, and memory. Your muscles have the energy they need for strength and endurance. Your organs have the energy they need for optimal function. Your immune system has the energy it needs to protect you from illness. Your hormonal system has the energy it needs to produce adequate hormones. Everything improves because energy is the foundation of all biological function. But there's more. This protocol also triggers something called autophagy, which is your body's cellular cleanup system. Autophagy is the process by which your cells break down and recycle damaged components, getting rid of cellular debris and dysfunctional structures. As we age, autophagy decreases and damaged cellular components accumulate, causing inflammation and dysfunction. The breathing and cold exposure protocol powerfully activates autophagy, essentially giving your cells a deep cleaning every single morning. This protocol also dramatically reduces inflammation throughout your body. Chronic inflammation is one of the primary drivers of aging and disease. It damages tissues, impairs function, and makes you feel old and sick. The combination of alkalizing breathing and cold exposure reduces inflammatory markers by up to 50%. Less inflammation means less pain, better function, faster healing, and a younger feeling body. There's also a profound effect on your hormonal system. This morning protocol increases growth hormone production by up to 500%. Growth hormone is called the youth hormone because it promotes muscle growth, fat loss, tissue repair, and overall vitality. It naturally declines as we age, but you can dramatically boost it through this protocol. It also optimizes cortisol patterns, giving you healthy morning cortisol that provides energy and focus, while reducing excessive cortisol that causes stress and inflammation. Let me share one more powerful story. Thomas was 73 years old and had essentially accepted that his best years were behind him. He was overweight, constantly tired, mentally foggy, and dealing with various aches and pains. His doctors told him everything was normal for his age and offered him various medications for his symptoms. Thomas came to me because his daughter insisted he try something different before accepting decline as inevitable. I taught Thomas the breathing and cold exposure protocol. At 73, Thomas was nervous about the cold exposure, but I assured him it was safe and to start gradually. Thomas committed to doing this every single morning. Within 2 weeks, he reported feeling better than he had in 20 years. His energy soared. His mental clarity returned. His aches and pains decreased significantly. Within 3 months, Thomas had lost 25 pounds, started exercising regularly, and looked and felt 15 years younger. He told me that this simple morning habit had given him hope for his future and made him feel like he had decades of good living ahead of him, instead of just waiting to decline. Now let me address some common questions and concerns. First, is this safe? For the vast majority of people, yes, this protocol is completely safe. However, if you have certain medical conditions, particularly cardiovascular issues, uncontrolled high blood pressure, or seizure disorders, you should consult with your physician before starting. The breathing can temporarily affect blood pressure and heart rate, and the cold exposure is a cardiovascular stressor, though generally a beneficial one. Second, what if I can't handle cold showers? Start gradually. Begin with warm water and make it progressively cooler. Even moderately cool water provides benefits. As your body adapts, you'll be able to tolerate colder temperatures. Many people find that within 2 weeks, they actually start to enjoy the cold exposure because of how amazing they feel afterward. Third, when will I see results? Most people notice increased energy and improved mood within the first week. Physical changes like fat loss and improved body composition become noticeable within 4 to 6 weeks. Continued improvements in energy, mental clarity, and overall vitality build progressively over months. This isn't a quick fix. It's a lifestyle practice that creates cumulative benefits over time. Fourth, do I have to do this every single day? Consistency is key for maximum benefits. Daily practice creates the most dramatic results. However, even 5 days per week will produce significant improvements. The key is making it a non-negotiable part of your morning routine, like brushing your teeth. Let me give you a complete 30-day protocol to get started. Days 1 through 7, focus on mastering the breathing technique. Do 4 rounds each morning. Don't worry about perfecting it, just do it consistently. For cold exposure, start with just 30 seconds of cool water and gradually increase. Days 8 through 14, work on extending your breath, holds, and increasing cold exposure to 1 to 2 minutes. Notice how your energy and mood are changing. Days 15 through 21, aim for the full protocol, 4 breathing rounds with increasing breath hold times, followed by 2 to 3 minutes of cold exposure. By this point, most people are noticing significant improvements in energy, mental clarity, and overall well-being. Days 22 through 30, maintain the full protocol daily and start noticing the physical changes. Improved body composition, better sleep, enhanced physical performance, and that feeling of vitality you thought was gone forever. Here's what you can expect by day 30 if you do this consistently. Your energy levels will be dramatically higher throughout the entire day. Your mental clarity and focus will be sharp. You'll likely have lost noticeable body fat, particularly around your midsection. Your muscle tone will have improved. Your mood will be elevated and stable. Your sleep quality will be better. Your resilience to stress will have increased. And most importantly, you'll feel younger, more vital, and more capable than you have in years or even decades. I also recommend combining this morning protocol with other supportive practices for maximum anti-aging benefits. Eat a nutrient-dense diet rich in whole foods, vegetables, healthy fats, and quality proteins. Exercise regularly, including both resistance training and cardiovascular activity. Get 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night. Manage chronic stress through meditation, nature time, or other relaxation practices. These lifestyle factors, combined with the morning breathing and cold exposure protocol, create synergistic effects that can literally reverse biological aging. The science behind this is clear and compelling. Studies on breathing techniques show dramatic improvements in immune function, inflammatory markers, and stress resilience. Research on cold exposure demonstrates increased metabolism, improved mitochondrial function, enhanced mood, and numerous other benefits. And studies combining these approaches show effects that exceed what either intervention provides alone. Here's the truth that conventional medicine doesn't tell you. Aging is largely optional. The decline, the fatigue, the brain fog, the weight gain, the loss of vitality, these aren't inevitable consequences of getting older. They're consequences of cellular dysfunction that can be reversed. When you provide your cells with optimal oxygen delivery, trigger mitochondrial biogenesis, activate hormesis pathways, reduce inflammation, and optimize hormonal function, your body responds by becoming younger, stronger, and more vital. This morning habit that takes less than 10 minutes can genuinely make you feel 30 years younger because it's addressing the fundamental cellular processes that determine how old you feel. It's not masking symptoms with medications. It's not temporarily boosting energy with stimulants. It's fundamentally improving how your cells produce and utilize energy, which affects every single aspect of how you look, feel, and function. You have a choice right now. You can accept the conventional wisdom that feeling old, tired, and declining is just part of aging and there's nothing you can do about it. Or you can take control and implement this simple morning protocol that thousands of people have used to reverse their biological age and reclaim the energy, vitality, and joy they thought were gone forever. Starting tomorrow morning, commit to doing this protocol. Set your alarm 10 minutes earlier if needed. Do the 4 rounds of breathing followed by 2 to 3 minutes of cold exposure. Do it consistently every single day for 30 days and track how you feel. Keep a journal noting your energy, mood, mental clarity, physical capabilities, and overall sense of well-being. I'm confident that by day 30, you'll be amazed at your transformation. The power to feel decades younger is in your hands. It doesn't require expensive treatments, dangerous medications, or complicated protocols. It requires 10 minutes each morning and the commitment to do something that might feel uncomfortable at first, but produces results that are absolutely life-changing. Doctors are shocked by this because it contradicts everything we've been taught about aging. But the science is clear and the results speak for themselves. Make the decision today to reclaim your vitality, your energy, and your youth. This simple morning habit can and will make you feel 30 again. Not because it's magic, but because it works with your body's natural biology to optimize cellular function and reverse the processes that make you feel old. Your best years don't have to be behind you. They can be right now and in the future if you're willing to commit to this powerful practice. Thank you for watching, and here's to your renewed youth, boundless energy, and vibrant health.